talk about. Can you hear me? Actually, let me bring my microphone closer so you can hear me a bit better, hopefully. Okay, let me start again. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and I'm XinRu. Today we are going to talk about how to learn Debussy's Clair de Lune from scratch to a performance level, step by step, using my layered piano learning methods. Okay, so where does this come from? It's just, do you ever feel like you don't know where to start when you ever start to learn a new piece? Like, this bothers me all the time when I was a teenager. Like, actually, it still bothered me when I was even in undergrad. Like, I was in the Royal Academy of Music, and it bothered me so much when I was learning new piece. Like, I didn't know how to learn it, and I didn't know how to practice it. I jumped right into it and wasted a lot of time, which I could have learned so much faster. And the one thing which always confused me was there seems like there's no valid system telling us how to learn a piece from like totally new, from scratch, to actually performance level. Like, every time when we talk about performance, when we talk about music, when we talk about we want to make it sounds better, we want to make it sounds more musical and expressive, everyone comes to like, you got to put more feelings into it, you got to be talented, like you just it seems like it's born in you, and then if you were not born with it, then you're doomed, then it's fine, it's done, that you're not going to make it. But this is so wrong. Like, why music is a science, and music is something we can actually to make it happen by following a correct order and sequence of learning. It's a subject, it's a method, it's a science. It's not something like a mystery, it's not a myth. And because I suffered so much during my study up, and after this 25 years of my experience and piano study, and I did my undergrad, postgrad, and PhD at the academy, and then during my PhD years, I started to understand, oh my god, this is actually just a step-by-step learning process. And by following the step, anyone can play the piano to a relatively good level. It's not like you have to be talented to be able to make it. Well, of course, I am not talking about the real artistry. Like everybody could probably write a good article if you follow the rules, if you follow the instructions. You probably write a pretty good story if you follow the instructions, if you follow the patterns. But like, it doesn't mean like you will become Tolstoy or you will become Dostoevsky. Like, the real artistry, yes, like, you got to have your own music understandings, you got to make it, happens to like Horowitz average level of like pianists or musicians or artists. But if we just want to make a piece of music sounds good, it's actually not a very hard job, and it's not like as crazy or as mysterious or as like confusing as it always sounded like. So I want to share this I want to share my structured layered piano learning methods with everybody. So I hope by using this method, and everyone can have a much more efficient and effective piano learning journey, and maybe even save some money for piano lessons. Who knows? Okay, so today we are going to use Debussy's very super duper famous piece, Clair de Lune, as an example. Okay, so now the first thing I'm going to do now, I think I'm just going to play the whole thing from the beginning to the end. So we have an idea. Just a little bit of background. I didn't practice too much about this piece. This piece I've learned it, but I didn't practice so much. Like I would clarify the difference between learning and practice later. Everything is very. I have a framework of everything, so hopefully it's gonna be clear. Okay, now let's enjoy some music first, and then we start our step-by-step layered learning process. Oops. Oh. Okay, now everyone, this is the piece. This is the whole piece, and if you think this level is good, then like I can. Now I'm going to show you how did I learn this from scratch, from step by step. Hopefully this would be helpful for you. Okay, just some technical check now. Can everybody still hear me, or it's just keep stopping? Can you hear my music and can you hear my speaking? Is my sound clear or not? Why this is happening? I have no idea. Oh, okay, we hear you, but sometimes it's lagged up a bit. Well, I don't know, up and down. What's wrong with this? Well, okay, I don't know what I can change, but hopefully it works out. I will keep going. Um, yeah. Appreciate and welcome to see everything in the chat. I might not reply immediately. Probably I'm going to check at the end of the session and answer all the questions. Okay. Okay. Now let's start learning. So before we talk about the first step, I need to clarify what is piano learning. Like everybody talks about, okay, we're going to start a new piece and we jump right in to to learn this piece. But did we actually learn it? Did we actually know what to do this? Can you hear me? I'm going to raise my voice because I can't drag my microphone so far away. Okay, so in my concept, piano study includes two stages. Stage one, we have learning. Okay, so most of the time, like the reason that we are not having very effective or efficient learning, the learning process, and we jumped right into our practice. Okay, this is really the worst way of starting a piece. Like we don't just jump right in and we just start to raise the notes and then try a millions of times and don't really understand what's happening with the music and don't even know where is one phrase, and we just jump right in and then we start to repeat from the beginning and again, beginning to the end again, beginning to the end, as if every time we're doing it is a sight reading. Okay, this is the worst we ever want. And it's worst we actually want to learn a piece. Very important, especially for piano. It's for everything. Like we need to learn it first. Okay. So now this is clear. Okay, about this. We are not going to talk about this. This is another method. Okay. This is what we are going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to learn it first. Okay. Now I made this clear. Wipe this off. Now we start to talk about learning. So if we want to learn a piece, if piano lessons, you might heard a lot of terms. You heard a lot of things. Like we always heard, you got to do your character. Your music needs to have the character lah. But and then we try to put everything into our playing right from the beginning. And we got overwhelmed and it comes up like everything wrong. And what he or she was talking about. We don't even know what was the problem. And sometimes we even have the question like, why this time I come to you, you said I'm too fast. Next time I come to you, you said I'm too slow. Or last week you told me here is louder, and then the week after you told me you actually be softer. It's like, is this a like random thing just based on how I feel at the spot? But no, this is not what it happened. So what happened? Everything like this happened is because we didn't follow the step by step. It's like we haven't even get to our level 1 or level 2, and then we want to jump to level 10 and to get that effect. And this is not going to happen. And then we struggle so much. Like, make sense? Logical? Okay, now, so learning. We're not going into the practice step yet. So I have here's lay method. Okay. After learning the piano for 25 years and after keep learning new pieces for like I don't know how many new pieces I've learned since I was 5, like hundreds, 200s, 300s, and I've worked away so much of wrong way of learning a piece, and I finally realized that the first step of me learning a piece was wrong. Like we shouldn't start from and you don't really know what the story talking about. You don't really know where is a phrase, where a section, paragraph, or whatever. You just start to read, don't understand it, and then you start to repeat reading, and having the hope that one day you finally gonna understand what's happening by repeating reading. This doesn't work because you haven't done the job yet. Okay, so our first step, so layer number 1. How do I do this? Layer number 1. Layer 1. We do phrasing. Okay, so talking about phrasing, I don't know how much you understand. Oh, nice, good news. Connection is more stable now. I can see and hear directly. Nice, good. Okay, let me keep going. So, talking about phrasing, phrasing is where to where is one phrase for a piece of music. Like for example, today we're learning Debussy, Clair de Lune, right? Let me start from the beginning again. So I am not going to add pedal, and I'm not going to add anything. No pedal, no dynamic, no musicality, no anything. I'm just going to play the notes and then play the rhythm. Okay, it's like a very basic thing, and then and I'm going to show you where is our phrase 1. Keep going, then it goes to here. So the pattern changed from there to there, right? From here. Let me show you. So between the change, that's the boundaries between your phrase 1 and phrase 2. So now we got our phrase 1, and we will keep going. We keep going, and then we put phrase 2, phrase 3, and then to the end of the piece, we know how many phrases we have first. Okay, so before we actually start to do the job, let me explain why this is so important. Okay, why actually having know where to where is one phrase is so important. For one, it gives us a tone of playing the music directly. So by knowing that starting from there and I'm finishing there. This is one sentence. To here is one sentence, and I'm going to keep going to the next sentence. So maybe I can take a breath between the two sentences. In the middle of the sentence, like, okay, I'm going to have, I'm going to read a book and then stop here. Well, this doesn't really make any sense, right? So yeah, by knowing where to where is understanding how the piece is structured, and that helps us to shape it, get the correct tone of it in the future steps as well. This is the first reason. Second benefit is once we know how many phrases we have in a piece. This piece has 9 phrases. Then you know, oh, okay, if it has 9 phrases, and I don't need to play from the beginning to the end, and I have no idea what I end up with after 3 months, like maybe I still play like this after 3 months, you wouldn't have this concern anymore. Like, you know, okay, I have 9 phrases here. Well, if I learn 1 phrase every week, then after 2 months and 1 week, I'm going to finish this piece. So you have a clearly timeline to structure and design your practice, and to actually, you know, give yourself some safety of making things happen, instead of just keep repeating the same piece and hope one day it will come. That doesn't feel very good, isn't it? Okay, so that's the 2 very big benefits we're going to we share by phrasing at the beginning and structure the piece in the future. But that's very high level up. In my layer system, that's like layer number 12. Okay, so it's quite complicated. Let's stay from the basic for now. Okay, so now we use this piece as an example. Okay, we use Clair de Lune as an example, and then we're going to phrase when we're going to do every phrase. Okay, so I'm going to change my camera angle now, so you could actually see where do I put as my, yeah. I need another angle. I need another camera. Okay, anyway, no money. They always have second option. Okay, so now you get my piece, right? This is my music. Yeah. Sorry. My bad. Okay, this is my music. Yeah. Okay, now I'm not going to use any pedal. Let's just phrase it first. So up to here, I would put myself phrase 1. So I put a little, you see, I put a little phrase 1 mark here. So we know from the beginning to here is our phrase 1. Okay, now the end of the phrase 1 is the start of phrase 2. And normally the end of phrase 1 is the start of phrase 2. But occasionally, especially with Bach, doesn't necessarily mean it's the start of the phrase 2. So, but here, normally, with the Romantic and Classical period composers, I probably put my phrase 2 here. This is the end of phrase 2. Okay, at the beginning of your learning, like you could choose to to do. Okay, so not do from the beginning to the end and repeat it again. So you can go from the beginning to the end. If it's not too hard, you feel like you can handle it, you can just start from the beginning to the end and keep doing it. So and then mark your phrase. Okay, up to here is our phrase 3. Okay, now we keep going. Can you read my music? No? Are you talking about reading music problem or actually read it problem? Okay, another method. Okay, so another way to do this. If you feel like, okay, this music is a bit too hard for me, and then for my first learning or first reading, I couldn't just read this through. It's just impossible. Then you don't really need to play it through. You can put like like when you start to listen to it and feel up to from here to here, and they did one phrase, and then from there to there they did another. Then keep to listen to it and then mark your phrase. That's another way to do it as well. Okay, search link. What do okay wait. Oh, hey. Okay, now we keep going. So we have our phrase 3 now. It's here, and then now we keep going. Like clearly up to here is another phrase, right? Here is our, and then if you feel a phrase is too long, it doesn't really come to an end. Okay, up to here is another phrase. It's 5. Okay, I leave the rest of it to do maybe by yourself. Okay, because I realize I can't possibly talking about every detail in this live stream. Otherwise, it's going to last for like 10 hours. So yeah, we this is phrasing. Am I making it clear? If I make it clear, put 1 in the comment, so in the chat, so I know it's clear. Okay, then we move on now. Okay, so let's assume we did all our phrasing now, and then everything we know how many phrases we have. Okay, now what do we do next? Okay, we assume we have all the phrases done, and what do we do next? Okay, then the next step is actually coming to everyone knows it. We start to read the notes. Okay, so next layer. This is very common sense things. We are not doing such stuff here. Okay, so but for this piece, if you want to like read it, just when you read the notes, make sure you got your key signature. Okay, and make sure you got all your accidentals. It'll be easy, so I'm not going to teach you how to read notes. Okay, once you, let's say you read all the notes for phrase 1, then now your piece sounds like this. Okay, right? It doesn't sound good at all, isn't it? It doesn't sound like Debussy, Clair de Lune at all, isn't it? Okay, now, once you got the notes, the next thing you need to do, you think, she's going to talk about rhythm now. Add rhythm in to make this piece sound. I put this in the layer 2 as well. So notes plus fingering. Like actually, you know, at this works the best for me. Okay, I'm using 2 4 5, and then 2 4, and then 1 3, 3 4. So like try to like make sure you have like extra fingers for proper for your later notes. And this is, and also when you design your fingering, and you need to consider that one, okay? Because once you start to do it, and if this is not a very comfy fingering, it's just like it's just gonna cause you a lot of troubles. And most of the technical problem actually is the fingering problem. Like most of the technical problem can be solved by changing your fingering and change your. We talk about fingering, and another very, very important thing about fingering is you have, once I use one finger, and then day 2 I change. This doesn't, and that's the only way to form a muscle memory. Otherwise, you will never have a muscle memory. Okay, now fingering. This is fingering, and more details we don't have time today, but I will gradually come up with how to do each one in my videos. Okay, so now this is fingering. Now actually, so layer 3 is rhythm. Okay, about rhythm, it's not, we go to start from what's the time signature here. Okay, so you get a sense about like how should you beep. Okay, so for example here, Clair de Lune, we have 9/8 here, right? So if it's 9/8, then you don't beep. So when you learn it, you don't beep the 9 quivers, unless it's like super complicated rhythm. You want to separate them and then break them down into like super small pieces and then like explain one by one. Unless that happens, that was the case. Otherwise, you don't break them down. You don't beep like 9 quivers. You do 3 big beats. That's in music theory, okay? That's like even grade 5 music. Every 3 notes is in one group. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3 in one bar. Then you got this is, so I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah. So I haven't added anything to the music yet, but I know rhythm is a very basic and fundamental things, and a lot of people think if I have a lesson talking about rhythm, it's like I wasted my money or it's just like very boring. But the truth is, it can decide a lot of further, more complicated scales. And when you try to like most of the people, the number one problem is the rhythm. Because you lose the tension, you lose the musical flow by giving too much room. That means like that's because like at the beginning of your study, you didn't really of your learning process, you didn't really understand the rhythm, like put everything together, like very like very like you build up a house, and then like something at the foundation of your house has a little problem, and then that causes a lot of further problem in your future. Yeah, so this is very important. Okay, even though it sounds like basic and foundational, it's super important. Okay, now for this piece, you really like for most of the depth pieces, we really don't need to do that much. This is not actually lose so much of the natural rhythmical flow the composer did like actually put their stick as well. So we lose so much that we actually get. What did we get actually? We get like a freestyle of playing, and which is most probably wrong. So nope. Okay. So at this step of our learning, we don't really do a lot of battles or do whatever we want. Stick to the rhythm. So, okay, so far what we talk about no phrasing, note and fingering. That's our layer 2, and we talk about rhythm. And so once you found your fingering, you stick to it. Once you found your rhythm, you stick to your rhythm. And adding rubato and adding whatever is in your future steps is not number 3. So now, just in case we don't know what's happening, our rhythm, adding the layer 3, our first phrase of Clair de Lune sounds like this now. This is a heartbeat, this is the beat. Practice with the metronome, but you've got to have a steady pose like in your heart. You got to know like, okay, this is my beat, this is my beat. Is it better now? Can you still hear me, or is it still stopping from time to time? Let me know if there is any technical problem. Okay, so good. So this is our beat. Okay. Now it's the result after our layer number 3. Okay. Okay, good. Now we got this. And then this doesn't sound really nice, isn't it? It sounds like very stiff and very, anyway, it doesn't sound good. But it's a good foundation. So it's a good draft to work on. It's like if you are doing a sculpture, and that's a good piece of stone, you can actually like do some work on top of it. Our next layer, which can make it sound dramatically better by doing a very simple thing. Layer number 4 is layer number 4 is dynamic. Okay, talking about dynamic, and everybody think, we know about dynamic. Like dynamic is just, we play loud, we play soft. Like it's not a big deal. We see P, we play soft. We see PP, we play softer. We see PPP, we play even softer. No, but it's actually not. It's simple, but in a way, you need to be very aware of it. Like a lot very advanced pianists. When I was a student, I found like a lot of very advanced students, even in conservatory level, they sometimes ignore this very basic thing. Like, I myself, I did the same mistake as well. I used to play, if you know Schumann Kresleriana or not, this one. It's a piano suite. It's a piano cycle which contains 8 small pieces in total, and this is number 3. Going back at the 3rd page, and then the first page, the first time the theme was here, and then Schumann wrote P. So you're supposed to play like. Okay, but when the theme comes back, actually, and Schumann wrote MF, but exactly the same note, and then Schumann wrote. Okay, so by changing this dynamic, he actually wants to convey 2 different characters, or at least 2 different happens in the middle, and there is like most of the people, at least me, I forgot. Like I just do whatever I want. I feel like like it's the music back again, so I go back to P, and then it just make all the structure very very messy, and it doesn't really show a difference. And by changing the dynamic and then make each layer super clear, like we change a lot of things, trust me. Like for example, so how many dynamic levels do we have actually? So normally we have PPP, PP, P, MP, and then we have MF, F, FF, FFF. So we have 8 levels, okay? Now, the Debussy Clair de Lune melody, okay? So now we are going to do FFF1. We go from the top, the loudest to the softest, okay? So loudest goes, if it's a FFF, then it goes. Never even imagined Clair de Lune would sound like this, right? This is quite unacceptable. Well, as considering what the piece is actually talking about, it's unacceptable. But if the piece is actually talking about something else, what if the piece is actually talking about a fight between a couple? Like that probably makes sense. So it's all, it's this thing. It can decide a lot of things. Okay. These 4 levels, very clear. I'm going to do MP, and then make you hear P, and then PP, and then PPP. So you hear the clear boundaries and then range between each dynamic level. So what we as pianists, what we want to do, we want to make each dynamic range super clear to our audience. So if we are doing F, they can tell we are in F area. If we are doing MF, they can tell we are in MF area. If we are doing MP, they can tell P, PP, PPP. we drop one level, we go to P. Now we drop again, we go to PP. Okay, now we drop again to our last level, which is triple P. Okay, you see, simply by changing my volume, I didn't add anything else. I just simply changed my volume, and then the character of the music changed dramatically, even though it's the same melody, same, same everything. Yeah, so this is really powerful, and like, yes, we have 8 levels most of the time. Okay, we don't talk about like crazy contemporary have 5 Fs, like 8 Fs, a million Fs. No, this is not in our consideration for now. Just like classical music, normal music, like 8 dynamics levels are quite dramatic already. But not every piece has 8 dynamic levels. Okay, so when you start to learn your dynamic or start to put your dynamic in, we should do this first. We look at the whole piece of music, and then we find the quietest point of this whole music. So the quietest point of this Clair de Lune is in bar 66. We have a triple P. In bar 51, we have a triple. So we see what level we have is the loudest. Okay, now we got this. In this piece, Debussy wrote a F in bar 41. This means we only have PP, PP, MP, MF, and F. So F is our loudest, and so we have 6 levels in this piece instead of 8 levels. Okay, so now what you need to do, we need to know ourselves. So we need to know like how big dynamic range I can play. Like for example, if your loudest is, and then your softest is, okay, then you can divide your dynamic range, your ability dynamic range, into 6 levels equally. And then you know clearly, that you apply each of your dynamic level into the piece based on the writing. Yeah, so this is like, it's easy to talk about, but it's quite hard to actually do it. It requires a lot of like control over the keyboard, over your power. It's a quite delicate job, and actually give your power into the piano to be able to make big sound. Let's say if you don't have that much power and your bigger sound is, this is already a bigger sound. Okay, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You just need to, divide your bigger sound and then the smaller sound, and then divide 6 levels between this range, and then apply each of the range into your music. That's it. Okay. However, of course, the bigger ability we have in dynamics, in terms of dynamic, it's like your control over the piano, and it's technical thing. We're not going to talk about technical thing today, and that comes later. Clear? Okay. Now, this beginning of phrase 1, our dynamic is PP. So after adding layer number 4 into the music, into phrase 1, or phrase 1 sounds like this now. Okay, I'm not putting pedal on, okay? No pedal, just purely the music so you can hear it. And it still doesn't sound very nice, okay? But it's better than layer number 3, isn't it? It's got a bit of the, at least it got the musical vibe already. But it still sounds very stiff and it doesn't sound very nice. And layer number 5 we are going to add is articulation. Articulation is very much depends on what piece you're doing. Like this layer 5. Articulation. You don't have that much difference in articulation. Like this one, Clair de Lune, this is not very complicated in articulation at all. Like staccato, or small slurs, or whatever, or potato, like the common for articulation. I would say like articulation really good, and we're actually fine. And the for articulation includes number 1 includes legato, staccato, and potato, and small slurs. This is like common knowledge again, right? It sounds like, oh, everybody knows this. Okay, but now, like, you can hear how much difference it can actually make to the music. Okay, so I'm playing everything in legato now. Like, what? Have you ever think of this question? What if I do Clair de Lune in staccato? How the music would sound like, and how the character would actually change. It sounds like this then. And like I'm not changing anything else. I'm not adding pedal, and I am not adding any like further layers yet. I'm just like we keep layer number 4 dynamic. So we were that level, right? We keep that, but we make the articulation staccato, and then the piece sounds like this. Listen. Isn't it? Like if I am not telling you this is Clair de Lune, probably you wouldn't even think of it, wouldn't you? Okay, now if I do potato, then this piece sounds like this. Small slur, it can sound like this. Articulation itself changed so much of the tones of the melody and the music, so it really means a lot of things. Okay, like I was practicing, and then this is phrase 1. Okay, phrase 2, it goes all small slurs. So phrase 1 is like, phrase 2 is small slur. So Chopin is really putting you know, emphasize. This etude basically is training articulations. And the phrase 3, I think, if I remembered correctly, we have staccato. Like this. So you see the piece, like it's like similar melody, but just by changing your dynamic, changing your articulation, and then the character of the piece change like dramatically. So it's like, again, not like every piece has a lot of like articulation change, but this is very cool. So you have staccato, staccato, small slur, and a long legato. Okay, if I play, this is Beethoven Sonata number 6. If I play everything staccato, it sounds like very different, isn't it? So this gives a lot of characters to the music. Okay, so I know the Clair de Lune doesn't have so many about this, but it's very important layer to add. Okay, now we go to our layer 5, and up to this layer, after adding this layer 5, our piece sounds like this now. Rhythm in layer 2, and then we have rhythm, and then we have dynamic, and then we have articulation. Only these 5 layers right now, and we added one by one in order, right? Now it sounds like this. Not bad already, isn't it? Okay, and then so up to here, up to this layer 5, after adding this, we actually reached what I called the foundation level. Okay, so congratulations, you finally reach a foundation level of a piece. So foundation level. All the things we did was very explicitly, clearly wrote, like it doesn't tell us, of course, the musical language, like harmonic, note phrasing. Today we talk about the methods, okay. Okay, we know the phrasing, the composer tell us. Notes, of course, we are not composing, so the composer wrote the notes. The composer doesn't wrote the fingering, but in order to play, we got the fingering. So that's kind of like a necessity. That doesn't take like, it's not like musical interpretations, right? Okay, then the composer wrote us the rhythm. We didn't write the rhythm. We didn't get to design the rhythm, do we? The composer write the dynamic. We didn't design the dynamic as well, right? Okay, the composer wrote the articulation too. Like, okay, at some point, at some situation, yes, the composer didn't write so much stuff. Like, that's the most like famous composers in classical music. They have quite specific requirements in all those 5 layers. Okay, so up to here, what we can learn, what we actually do, it's all from the composer's instruction, and that's why I called it the foundation level. Okay, this is the foundation level. And then if you feel like, okay, I just want to play the piece, I don't really want to make it sound even better, I'm okay with it, like as long as I can play it. You stop at this level, okay? You stop after you add layer 5, and then you put a cap on top of it. We always have a cap. This cap, other 2 levels, we will have performance to add, okay? Performance level, we're going to go up to performance level today, okay? But if you say, okay, I'm okay, like the foundation level, it sounds pretty good to me already. I don't want to put so much effort, so much time, so use so much everything just to reach, like, just to make it sound better. It's too boring, or, you know, I couldn't be bothered. That's okay, as long as you know where you are. I always think of my learning process as a pyramid. Yeah, so it got 3 levels. Artistry level, okay. We need a lot. Sorry, I did something wrong. We need a lot of layers to get to the artistry level. And then the bottom one is the foundation level, which we are going to cover up to here today, okay? Performance level. Okay, we have these 3 levels. And then I always think of this as a pyramid. So foundation level has, we don't need to go up, but you add your pedal as a cap to finish it, okay? So now I'm going to show you if we just stop at a foundation level, so which means we do the correct and articulation. On top of these 5 layers, I'm going to put pedal to make it sound better. So that's the foundation level, okay? Now this sounds like this. Oh my god, my hands, I need a blackboard eraser. Do you like that? And then we add the cap, which is pedal. Yeah, this is the final result of your foundation level. If you just want to make this piece to the foundation level, it's gonna sound like this. It's not great. It doesn't have so, you would feel like, it's not so touchy, isn't it? You feel like, it's not that expressive. Like, it doesn't feel like the music flow, but it sounds like it. Yeah, so this level, I would say you can, if you play, you make people feel, okay, it sounds like it, but it's not very impressive. And it doesn't sound good. It sounds okay, but, you know, we wouldn't say it sounds good. Okay? Okay, and now, for some more musical lovers, let's see. If on top of the foundation level, you think, it's not enough. I really want to make this piece sound much better. I want to make this piece sound like, at least I want to make it sound touchy. I want to feel it. I want to make people feel like expressive. No problem at all, but you need more layers. Okay, so hopefully you remember the foundation 5 layers, so I'm not repeating it anymore. So now we have the foundation. Okay. This is the foundation level. We got it already. Okay. So once you've learned it, actually, this actually is the time you move to your practice stage. Okay. So once you've learned your foundation level, you go and practice it to make it solid, to make it actually in your hand, to be able to make your life easier by adding more layers to reach the performance level. Okay. Okay, that's it. We're not talking about practice today. Okay. So practice is another huge topic. Oh my god, I just realized I have so much to talk about. Sorry, I'm really my throat is not doing well. I'm not getting used to talk so much. Anyway, okay, we're not talking about practice. Okay, I have another layered method for practice. I made everything like a structurally like layered formula, and then I was using this on my students, and then gradually I feel like I really want to test this out. I really want to, see if this could really help people to do it, and I really want my method to help other people who actually wants to learn the piano, to make it happen, and to have like less time wasted. So that's why I'm sharing all this stuff with you guys. And I know probably not so many people is watching, but well, hopefully for who are watching right now, this is at least a little bit helpful for you. Let me read the chat quickly, and then I'm keep going from the foundation level to performance level. Okay. Could add a live donation option in the chat via Pix. I believe this would allow you to receive more donations. Oh, donation. Hi, Serena. By the way, talking about donation, if you find this really helpful, or if you find this interesting, welcome to super chat me or super sticker me. The tip link is actually in the pinned chat and down below in the description box. And thank you very much for your support, but no pressure. Every little support means a lot to me, really. So yeah. Well, if you find this helpful, like, I really appreciate everything you support me. Okay, so could you do please, I love the song. And sorry, I'm not really taking requests from scratch to a performance level. Yeah, so it's not a request session. Okay, but if you do want to request a song with me, welcome to come back tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Wednesday evening, every Wednesday evening bounce. Okay, but normally if nothing like super important or special happens, my request session is every Wednesday 7 p.m. UK time. So during the request session, I am going to play every single song you guys requested, and most of the song for me would be side reading, but I will try my best. XinRu most probably every day. Like, I got a little busy these days. I got a tiny little busy these few days, so I didn't really practice much. But I need to go back to concerts coming up in February, which is not far away. And anyway, I need to work on this. Okay, how is the best pianist on YouTube doing? I always see her here. I like you from Paris. Thank you. Amazing. Okay, thank you. Okay, everyone. Now let's keep going. Can you still hear me? Is every like technical thing all right? I don't want to. I don't know why this keeps stopping and why this keeps. Okay. Okay. So we come back to our topic. We talk about foundation, right? We talk to get our performance level to make it sound better. Okay. So to reach our performance level, layer number 6. So then if you want to reach to your performance level, we don't do the pedal cap yet. Okay? Don't do the pedal cap yet. So means you're not adding pedal yet. So the pedal is still not what you are adding right now. We still go pedal. Layer number 6. Balance. This balance from this layer on is actually something we can actually design ourselves. Okay, so for balance, what I refer to is the balance between your right hand and your left hand. So, like which hand you want to be louder, which hand you want to be softer. Okay, now this balance can have a lot of ratio. I don't know if my pronunciation is right. I always feel weird with this word. Ratio. For example, if you want the music to sound more melancholy, sad, the difference between the two hands bigger. You can make your right hand 9, left hand 1. Okay, this Clair de Lune is not very obvious for this because left hand doesn't have so many notes anyway. Chopin E minor concerto. E minor concerto. Then we have this beautiful middle section. If we have sounds very sad, isn't it? Okay, but if I adjust my balance to melody 6, left hand background 4, it sounds like this. It's still very beautiful. I didn't change anything else. I did everything exactly the same. More like peaceful, warmer. It feels warmer. Peaceful is not. It doesn't have this very sad, desperate. What's that word? Sweeping. Yeah. Okay, so if this is the one, like I did 1 9, then the melody sounds very. I forgot one chord. Crying, but if it suddenly sounds like warmer, more peaceful. It doesn't sound that sad anymore. Okay, so now we go back to Clair de Lune. This piece, for this piece, I think we probably want, for me, personal, from this stage on, okay? From this level on, this layer on, it's about personal interpretation now. Okay, I could do 5 5 because this piece doesn't really like. Okay, your right hand is the melody, but your left hand is pretty important. So I can do 5 5, and it sounds like this. what character you want to express, to the feelings you want to create for your audience, to the atmosphere you want to create through your music. Is it suitable from this layer on? Okay, so if I have 5-5, it sounds like this. Personally, I don't really want this, because this is not making the piece sounds like peaceful, distant, serene, far away. It just doesn't give me all those feelings at all. So I want to make it sound, okay, now it's my picture now. I want to make it sound peaceful, far away, like feeling like a streak of moonlight, like in the forest, but everywhere else dark. So in order to achieve this, I choose to go left hand 2, right hand 8, and it sounds like this. I didn't change anything else. Sounds different now, right? Okay, you can try it out yourself. Like with balance, what you need to do is you got to try it out yourself. Like by the time you reach the foundation level, you probably have a picture of the music by yourself. Like you probably feel like, okay, it's the, like, for me this piece is like a moonlight on the ground and surrounded by a like dark, forest, like something like this. So I want it to be distant, sad, and very peaceful and serene. But for some people, maybe you have a different picture in your head with the same piece. So you just need to try it out, and you try all the different balance. So you can try 1-9. So you can try 1 for your left hand, 9 for your right hand, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6. You just try all the different method. Not method. Try all the different ritual between your balance, and then choose the one you think suits your musical picture the most, suits your atmosphere the most, or simply you feel like, okay, this fits my expectation. Then you choose it and you stick to it. Again, okay, you make your musical decision, you stick to it. And when you practice, every time you do, you make sure, oh, I did this. It's not like, okay, I decide to do left hand 2, right hand 8. And then first practice I do 5-5. And I played right, my notes right, my rhythm right, everything right. So let go. No, you're actually wrong, because you need to take care of all the layers you've been requested now, not just the foundation thing, not just the note and rhythm anymore. Okay, so if you decide to make your balance 2 and right hand 8, every single time you go to make sure your practice happens the same way. So this is the balance I did. Okay, I chose to, for phrase 1, I chose balance left. I just realized I simply don't have enough time to explain each phrase. Maybe I should make a more detailed video to explain the whole piece about my interpretation, but that's a huge job. Anyway, let me play the first 3 phrases and to be 8. Okay, so it sounds like this. Okay, I'm not adding pedal yet, okay? So this is Okay, and then let's keep going for phrase 3 and 4. Okay, now let's keep going for. Okay, now we need another few layers to be able to reach the performance level. It's tempo. Okay, so tempo is your speed. Yeah, and at this stage, you have to choose a suitable speed, of course, based on the composer's request as well. Some instructions, but like sometimes we play around the speed. So like a small change of like tempo can make the music feels different. So you kind of need to choose a speed like you actually feel like suitable for expressing the musical atmosphere you want. Like for example, if you want, if I do a very very slow one, this is andante, right? Andante has a range. So, like, should I do the slow andante or the fast andante, right? So, which could work. Nobody could say this is wrong. Okay, then it flows a bit more. Yeah, but the music, like I didn't change anything else, and I didn't add more layers yet. But everything, like the music changed a bit, right? And you couldn't tell what has been changed, maybe at the beginning. But as I explained, you see, I didn't change anything else. Literally, I didn't add pedal, and I just kept what we've been. And then the music picture changed completely, right? So yeah, you just go to, same thing. Go to try the tempo out yourself and try to make it sound like the most suitable or the most close to your musical picture you think. And for me personally, this is another personal interpretation. Okay, it's not like right or wrong. This is just how I want it to be, how I imagine this piece in my head. I don't want a super slow one. I don't want it to be 1, 2. I don't want it to be like this. I feel it's too dragging, and I don't really like stopping so much. But the truth is, the slower you do, the sadder it gets, the more miserable it gets, the more heartbreaking it gets. Okay, but I want it to be flowing a bit. This probably is my tempo. Tempo sounds like this. Let's see how it sounds like. 1, 2. It sounds like this, but after designing all my 7 layers so far, my piece of music sounds like this. Now, phrase 1 sounds like this. But it still doesn't sound like very, very impressive, isn't it? It doesn't sound like super nice. Like it doesn't sound like it's a natural flow. Where does the natural flow comes from? Why everybody talking about natural flow? Now, let's come to the next layer. Layer number 8. I know we have a lot of layers, right? And it's hard to add one by one. And then actually to reach these layers, you have a lot of work to do, have a lot of job to do. But so to make this piano, to make this main instrument actually sing, to make it sound expressive, is very hard than other instrument. I'm a horrible singer, but if you're a singer, like it's harder for you to be expressive. Why you don't, like it's something is just naturally flowing in you because it's like naturally connected if you're using one bow or whatever. But for us, like this is we're hitting like different keys, right? Each key is one hammer, and what we want is to connect this each single sound into a big phrase, big structure, and to make it sound expressive. This is hard. Like this is very hard to do, and that's why it's hard to make a piano piece sound singing, lyrical, and expressive, and that's why we need all those layers. So it's not an easy job to do, but what we are doing here is to make the path is there, and you can actually find a way up and to find a way to improve your piano instead of getting struggled or stuck or at certain level, and then you just really want to make yourself sounds better, but you don't know what to change, you don't know what's wrong. And what I'm doing here is that I actually hope I could, by using my method, my layered method, I could make your music sounds better in a clear, structured way. Okay, well, if you find this stream helpful, by the way, welcome to tip me or super chat, super sticker me, and yeah, and every little, all the tip links is down below in the description box, and also it's in the pinned chat. So if you want to, no pressure, of course, but every support really means the whole world to me. And also you could join our membership, and our membership gets priority requests in our get to participate the poll and to vote what are we talking about in our tutorial session and in our Sunday challenge session. Okay, cool. So now let's keep going. Shape. Okay, what is shape? Shape is like you imagine that you are actually drawing a line. Like a line. You imagine you drawing a line with your notes. Like we use Clair de Lune, okay? So Debussy didn't write anything on our shape. We want to make it sounds better, right? So we need a shape. Because think of it, when we actually speak, then everybody finds it boring, and you don't know where is the emphasis of my talking, and you will always sound really like be aware of it, but it exists. Like our shape is very important. Shape 4. Okay. We can have shape number 1. We can have going up shape for one phrase. Yeah, each phrase has a shape, okay? Number 2, going down 1, of course. Number 3, mountain shape. 4 shape, okay? I'm going to play phrase 1 with each of the shape from shape number 1. So I will keep everything still. So this doesn't mean you go from this. Doesn't mean you go from PP right to a double F. Nope. What you do, you have a shape within the area, the range of your PP. So you still do PP, but just from the range of your PP. This is your PP, and then you go from the bottom of your PP, maybe slightly louder than PPP, to the bottom of the P. So like slightly below P. So you go this range. And then if I go shape number 1, it sounds like this. Phrase 1, okay? On top of the previous 7 layers, okay? So every layer is adding on top of the previous one. Yeah? Okay. Now, first shape. Shape number 3, we have a U shape. Number 4, mountain arch shape. Shape you like the most out of this 4. It's like arch shape, and most of the time it makes the phrase sounds very natural, makes the flow sounds better, and makes a phrase sounds like complete. Okay, so that's my arch shape. I'm going to choose my arch shape. Okay, and then the last layer we need to add before reaching performance level. You actually number 9, sorry. Maybe many people don't hear of this, but imagine this is like the breath. Imagine this is a singer actually singing a song, and the singer has to take breath in between phrases, right? And even sometimes if it's a long phrase, and the singer take a very short breath. If it's a big ending of one big phrase, the singer take a bigger breath, isn't it? So it's like we say 让我们荡起双桨，小船儿推开波浪。Like we take a breath, okay? Let me use another song. I'm a horrible singer, okay? Bear with me. I'm a good pianist, but I'm a very bad singer. Okay, let's see. Happy birthday to you. And then we take a short breath, right? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. We don't do this, right? Okay, so what is called breath in singing, and I call it strength flow in your piano. Okay, so you need to know where, like in this big phrase 1, where is your small, so between this beginning to this small breath, you use one power instead of putting two power on. For example, if I put a different power on each note, this piece would sound like this. And everything. I added every layers we talk about. I even added the shape. So after the foundation level, I added the balance, I added the tempo, I kind of use a new strength for each single note. It sounds like this. It doesn't sound very powerful and very expressive, right? Isn't it? Because you are actually speaking like this. Of course it doesn't sound. Okay, now what do we want to do? We want da 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 da. This could be a small short one, right? You can take a very small breath. So by taking your strength back a little bit, but not fully back. And then da 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 da. Another small like phrase, isn't that? Like this small phrase in the big phrase. Okay, now you can take another little short breath. So you take your strength back a little bit, but not like fully relaxed. And then keep going. Da 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 da. A very short and keep going. Da 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 ba da da. Here you have a twinkle twinkle little star. How I wonder where. Twinkle twinkle little star. You take a short little breath, right? And how I wonder where you are. And da 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 da. Take a big breath because it's the end of the one phrase. Yeah. Okay. So now by adding in your strength flow, this piece now sounds like this. Okay. If you get after here, you get your performance level. It's ready to perform. But new practice, of course. Anyway, without pedal now. Okay. No pedal, but with all the 9 layers. Sounds like this. Okay, sounds like this. This is without pedal, okay? So up to here, up to this layer number 9, congratulations. You reach your performance level. Okay, so this is the tower. We had the pyramid, foundation level, performance level. We are here now, okay? We got the foundation level already. Foundation. We're here now. Okay. To the artistry level. That's even harder, okay? We need to add more layers, but we're not talking about getting artistry level today. We stop at performance level today, okay? I will run other sessions to talking about how to go from performance level to artistry level, what layers we need to add on top of that, but not for today, okay? So yeah, but it sounds very impressive already. So once you get your performance level, and then you think, okay, I can stop here. I don't want to like add more layers on top to make it to perfect this piece, because the higher you go, like layers very hard to achieve. You probably put more time, but get like a small layers add up. Like the higher the harder. It makes sense, right? It's like a video game. Like if you go like you probably use like 1 hour to go from level 1 to level 10, but if you want to go level 90 to level level 100, it took like 1 year or whatever. It's same as everything. Yeah. Okay. So if you say, okay, I don't want to like put so much time to reach artistic level, your cap is your pedal. Okay. Add your pedal. Level 1, as for your layer 1 and layer 9, make everything is correct. On top of this, you add your pedal. Okay, everyone. This is how it sounds after a performance level. And I didn't really, learn this piece very much, so I only got myself up to a performance level. But normally, if I'm going to play this piece, if I'm going to play a piece for a concert, I normally get myself to the artistry level. but it takes so much time, and I'm not going to, I'm actually not putting this into my concert program, so I didn't spend so much time on it. I'm actually going to play Beethoven. Opus 81A for my next month's concert, and Schumann Humorous. Oh my god, it's an amazing piece, really. I don't know if you heard of it. Anyway, okay, it doesn't sound too bad. It sounds like impressive, but sounds like quite expressive, but it doesn't sound like, super duper amazing. But I think, like, for most of us, probably is a good enough level. Yeah. Okay, everyone. That's all. That's all for today. And do you have any question? Do you want to ask anything, or do you have any question I could answer? Okay, let me read the chat. My favorite piece. Please, can you help me? Yes, I can. Like, how do you want me to help you? Is there any sport or anything in which Asians aren't good? That's what I want to talk for today. So today, just some quick summary. We used Debussy Clair de Lune. We were talking about my layered learning method. So from the bottom to the top to the performance level, we need 9 layers, laid one by one to the top, and then on top of it, we cap it with the pedal, and then it sounds. This same method can be used to every single piece. Okay, every piece you learn, you follow this step. You follow this layer. You add one layer on top of it in the order, and you will get the performance level. It's no magic. It's no mystery. It's just like science. Yeah. So hopefully this is helpful today. And as I said, if you would love to hear more from me, and if you like this live stream, welcome to support me, or super sticker, super chat, and thanks very much for your support. Okay, now I think we'll be finishing here. Hope this is helpful for everyone, and have a lovely morning, evening, and afternoon. Bye. Oh, you played wonderful, sentimental. Thank you. When do you play Debussy? Yeah, I just played Debussy. This is well, I didn't play so many Debussy music. I grew up, so this is just one of them. Okay. Bye, everyone. Have a lovely evening, morning, afternoon. See you next time. See you tomorrow if you have time. Wednesday 7 p.m. we will have a tutorial session, and hopefully I can see you there. We'll have a request session. Bye.